Hello, you are watching a series of interviews on the AFSA activities. Today we are having a special guest, Mr. Juan Carlos Reyes. Mr. Reyes is a president of National Commission of Digital Assets in El Salvador. Mr. Reyes, we are very happy to have you here, and we are so excited to hear about your country, Salvador. Could you tell us about the cultural context of Salvador and how these cultural nuances impacted tokenization in El Salvador?
Thank you, and thank you for the warm welcome to Astana. Very beautiful country, and very glad to be here. To answer your question, let's break it down. The first question has to do with the culture of El Salvador and how tokenization has affected us. El Salvador has been a country that we have been at war for about 30 years. We have perhaps the youngest and most revolutionary president in the modern history, that has taken what was known in 2016 as the murder capital of the world into today a country that is known worldwide for its safety or adoption of Bitcoin and the financial freedom it offers. This change, it's something that has really impacted the Salvadoran population tremendously, and it's something that it's a fresh breath of air from our citizens. When it comes to tokenization and how we came to tokenization, everything starts back in 2021 when our President Nayib Bukele decided to legalize Bitcoin and to make it our legal currency. In 2001, El Salvador stopped using the colón, which was our national currency, due to inflation and the potential of it collapsing. And they decided to adopt the US dollar. So El Salvador has been a dollarized economy for close to 23 years. And now in 2021, it became also a digital asset economy by adopting Bitcoin. What transpired from the adoption is the understanding of what's required to regulate and interact and use safely a digital asset as a currency. So in 2023, the president and his team deemed it necessary to create a special regulatory body that looks just after the supervision, regulation, and promotion of digital assets, and gives the creation to the law of digital emissions. This law creates the Commission of Digital Assets, which is the one that I preside. And we are the only country in the world that has an independent body to regulate digital assets such as crypto, but also digital assets that are backed by real world asset tokenization.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's great to hear the whole context and the nuances, how you became this digital economic country. And also, even though it had a war, as you said, for 30 years, now it's thriving. It's so great to hear it. And also, how do you see tokenization transforming El Salvador's economy and benefiting its citizens in future and nowadays also?
Yeah, very good question. And this is something that for those of us that have been in the industry from the early days, and I'm referring to the blockchain industry, the premises, and I mean the first blockchain technology that was proven was Bitcoin, and the whole idea or philosophy behind Bitcoin was to decentralize and provide freedom of access to finances. The decentralization, I mean, for today, even today, we depend on the banks in order to make payments. And the bank is sort of a trusted central person that says, yes, they do have the money and the money can be moved to this person. Now in 2008, because of the collapse of the financial system in the United States due to the banks, gave birth to Bitcoin and the idea of creating a decentralized financial system that doesn't require a trusted middle person. And that's the birth of Bitcoin. Now, the principles of the technology has always been to democratize access to financial services. And through tokenization in El Salvador, we're achieving that. Because now, one of the most perhaps interesting and really valuable products that are coming out of El Salvador is we're looking at using tokenization to give access to our citizens to financial products that are very stable and that before were only available to the super rich. And I mean that because in the past, some financial products require you to be a qualified investor, and the amount of money you needed to participate was in the hundreds of thousands or millions. Now, due to tokenization, it creates transparency. It reduces the amount of people required to manage and monitor and supervise the transactions, and it can fractionalize the access of the finance. So instead of costing $100,000, nowadays these products can cost $10 or $100 and get the benefit of 10, 20% return that before didn't exist for the average person. So that's one of the examples how tokenization is coming to the masses in El Salvador, and it will bring valuable opportunities.
Yeah, and the benefit their citizens for sure. And also now here in Astana, you are partnering with AFSA. And what motivated you for this partnership, and what factors guided your decision? What are the main objectives of the memorandum between AFSA and the CNAD, and how does this agreement reflect their commitment to improve cross-border financial regulations?
Thank you. Yes. So I guess I am at the top of the mountain now, and to use an analogy, back in 2023, I was at an event put together by Bitfinex, who is regulated in El Salvador and in Kazakhstan. And Bitfinex invited the national regulator for Kazakhstan and the national regulator from El Salvador, and had a very brief experience. So the peak of the mountain, of the possibilities of how well prepared, how a deep understanding for regulation the country had, and it really garnished my interest from the early days. So after meeting your executive director Nurhat and your Kargeli, I was immediately interested in finding more information from them. They do come from the traditional financial sector, more the digital asset sector, but they are very pro digital assets as well, in the sense of they understand the technology, unlike a lot of other regulators that I've dealt with in the past. So the initial appeal was, look, we specialize in digital assets. You specialize in traditional finance, but digital assets are coming to you. And the AFC, it's so well structured that we have learned a lot already from it. And it was to share the knowledge. At the same time, given the fact that our industries, when it comes to digital assets, are borderless, there will be a point where there will be companies from El Salvador doing business here. And this MOU also allow us to collaborate information between obligated subjects, which is the companies that we regulate, and we build upon that. Now, the next step, and this is now the top of the mountain now that I'm here, has been achieved by the organization very openly, opening the doors and having meetings with every single director, understanding what they do, and seeing the synergies that can be created from different departments of the Commission of National Digital Assets and the organization here. We are going to continue to expand that MOU and focus on building robust shared education.